What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me tonight is Ryan. Ryan, Pirates lose an absolute snooze fest ball game tonight. 4-1 to the Milwaukee Brewers. That's 2 losses in a row. First time they've lost 2 in a row, Ryan, since August 16th and 17th.
Yeah, they've been playing well, and even I was thinking today, like even when they're not, the season's over. They're when they win and lose, at least they've been entertaining. Like the pitching's been good. Like they've been hitting a little bit. It seems to be entertaining. Tonight was not that. Like Brandon Woodruff he did what he normally does against the Pirates and just had their number, and they really didn't have an answer. They had some chances late against the bullpen. Just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, they as awful as this game was, they did have some chances late, like to actually make this a real game, and they just didn't come through. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Nick Yorke was 0 for 2. He had an opportunity really to do something there. He came through a couple nights ago, but wasn't able to come through today. I thought Mitch Keller looked outstanding, but yeah, I mean, you're just not going to win many ball games when you get 5 hits and 1 run. That's 3 runs over 2 games now against the Brewers. The Brewers are now 9-3 against the Pirates on the season. Ryan, can we just petition to just no longer, because we change all of our Brewers games and make them Dodgers games. Can we just do that?
Yeah, well, I'm in for it. I don't get it. Some teams own other teams. I mean, it seems absurd to even say that we own the Dodgers, but they have lately. But yeah, like this wasn't even in Milwaukee. Like I could see if it was a Milwaukee, home game or something, but we don't play well against them. And this game kind of summed up. Like the Brewers hit home runs, the Pirates don't. And that was the difference tonight.
That was it.
Because like both starting pitchers were on. Like Keller was almost just as sharp as Woodruff was for early in that game. But the Brewers got a couple barrels on the ball, put them over the ballpark, and the Pirates just don't have guys that really do that. I mean, Jake Bauers is still a thing. It's 2025, and Jake Bauers is hitting home runs for the Brewers. I don't know what his fifth different team. So I don't get it, but yes, Still City DW. I have my Guinness. It's been a while, Jim. I haven't been on here in a while. Oh my God. There we go. It's been a while. So yes, I have my Guinness. I needed it tonight for this one.
Yeah. You're out gallivanting around. I think the last 2 times you were scheduled for a post game, you were like, can't do it.
Yeah. It's the time. It's those that, well, they haven't had many midweek afternoon games too, which is doing it. And then they had that one that was later. So it's tough right now. Kids are back in school, but somehow I'm busier. So
yeah, I don't think we've done a show for a while.
No, it's
been
it may be like back in June is when you and I did the show.
It's been a couple months. So
yep.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into this thing. Like we mentioned, Mitch Keller, I thought, was outstanding. The one mistake he made was on a 3-0 fastball to Jake Bauers, who had the green light, and he got a cookie, and he didn't miss. I mean, that was it right there, and that ended up being the difference in the game. The Pirates did absolutely nothing against Jake Woodruff, and I mean nothing. They were striking out looking, Ryan, all game long. To start the game, Jared Triolo strikes out looking. In the second inning, O'Neill Cruz strikes out looking. Nick Yorke strikes out looking. In the third, Henry Davis strikes out looking. In the fourth, Spencer Horwitz strikes out looking. The first 5 strikeouts of this game against Brandon Woodruff were just looking. They just were looking at pitches. And most of them were fastballs, I felt like, where they were just, fastballs on 2 strike counts, and the Pirates just couldn't pull the trigger on pitches that were in the zone, and it was just frustrating to watch because it was just one of those days where once you knew we kind of have these games throughout the year where it's like once you give up that first run or 2 runs like Mitch Keller did here in the fourth, like I immediately felt the way that this game was going in the fourth inning. This game was over at 2-0 in the fourth. Ryan, this game was over.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned the strikeout lookings. Like Woodruff, as good as he was tonight, he only had 7 whiffs, but like you said, they weren't really on the strikeouts. Like he had 7 Ks, but they weren't on the strikeouts. And yeah, he at one point he retired 15 in a row, I think, in between Reynolds and Triolo's singles.
Yep.
There was just nothing, and there was not two measly singles against him, and there was never a threat. They kind of got some guys on base against the bullpen, but. And look, Woodruff in his career, Jim, I had to go back in his career against the Pirates. He's got a 3.25 ERA against the Pirates. And then in PNC Park, he's even better. He's 3-0 with a 2.87 ERA and 8 appearances in 6 starts. So that was going into tonight. So they've just never hit this guy. And, Woodruff's a good pitcher. Like he's been in the majors for almost a decade now. Like he's got a good track record, but yeah, the Pirates just never they just never have anything going against them. And it's even worse in PNC Park. And yeah, he had it going tonight and they had no answer.
Yeah, nothing at all. I said Mitch Keller, 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, just those 2 runs on that 2-run homer, 4 strikeouts, no walks. He it's refreshing to see because he had that stretch kind of right after the All-Star break. And it was like, second half Mitch, here we go. Starting in August, really, 5 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs, just didn't have a great start to this month. His last outing, quality start against the Cardinals, struck out 9, looked really good, got the win. That was 2 outings ago. Last time out, 5 innings, no earned runs, gave up some unearned runs because of some errors, 7 strikeouts. So like he's pieced together now 3 straight good starts kind of after that rough start to August, and it's refreshing to see. He's just kind of broken down the last couple of years in the second half. So if he can finish this season strong, it maybe gives you a little bit more hope going into next year that he can kind of do this for an entire season. And also he's a trade candidate this offseason too, Ryan. So
right.
You also don't want him tanking his trade value these last, 4 or 5 starts. Like I said, he's probably got 3 more starts left.
Yeah, because that was the thing at the trade deadline. Like you were I was with you. Like I didn't want Keller traded, especially at the deadline. Like if you're going to get something for him that's going to help this team for next year, it'll probably happen in the offseason. And then the trade deadline happens. They hold on to Keller, and you're like, okay, good. And then you see the first couple starts out of the trade deadline, and it's like, oh God, like what did we do? Like they should have traded him, but it is refreshing that he has kind of rebounded. And I mean, he's got, knock on wood, I mean, he's got a rubber arm. Like the guy just keeps eating innings. And look, he had it going tonight. Like, Mitch Keller's going to give up a run or 2 or 3, but he's going to get you innings. Ryan's FanDuel lock of the day, I went with Mitch Keller. I'm a huge Mitch Keller slappy. So 15.5 outs. I kind of figured with, like I said, Keller's rubber arm and the bullpen and the kind of the situation, they were a little taxed the last couple of games. So I figured they'd give Keller a chance to go kind of deep, and 15.5 outs. He hit that. He pitched through 6 into the 7th, got 6 1/3. So yeah, man, Mitch was awesome tonight. And he had the sweeper and the fastball kind of mixing, and he just mixing his other pitches. And he had the guys out, like you said, he was cruising, matching Woodruff inning for inning. Just got kind of, gave up a hit and then was 3-0 to Bowers and, served one up and Bowers swung at it. So
yep.
That was it. And that was, again, Mitch Keller, his record drops to 6-14 now. If Mitch Keller was on a team with like a mediocre offense, he'd probably have like 10 wins. Over 10 wins, probably.
Yeah, more than that.
Because he gives you 5-6 innings, a couple runs every start. So he's just, this is the perfect picture of a 6-14 record. Doesn't do him justice for sure.
Yeah, 10 swings and misses today. 100% whiff rate on his curveball, by the way. He only threw 5 of those, but he was 2 for 2 on swings and misses there. Heavy sweeper, 4-seamer is kind of what he stuck with on the day. But yeah, I mean, his ERA at one point this season, it had gotten up to, let's see, at its highest, it was 4.35. And that was, following his start in St. Louis on August 26th. It's now back down to like a very respectable 4.16, where, if you're going to throw 180 innings and have a 4.16 ERA, and like this is kind of who he's been, but a low 4 ERA, throwing 180 innings, it's a very valuable starting pitcher
100%.
that like literally every single team in Major League Baseball would love to have a guy like that. So yeah, hopefully they say he's probably got 3 more starts remaining this season. So hopefully he just hopefully he finishes strong there. But the offense today, it was just a pathetic display of offense. Bryan Reynolds showed up on his bobblehead night. So, there was that. He went 2 for 3 with a walk. He got his 35th double of the season. He's been turning it on, but like, again, the rest of the lineup, Horwitz 0 for 3, Pham 0 for 4. Gonzalez did get that double in the 9th, but 1 for 4. O'Neill Cruz 0 for 3. He did get a walk. Did also drive in the run with a ground out when it didn't matter.
And he had that, that was the spot in the 7th where, they brought in the lefty to face Cruz. He drew it was a pretty good at bat. He drew a walk against that lefty. They had 2 on, 2 out at that point, and Yorke comes up and pops out. And Yorke had another shot in the 9th, with runners on and struck out at the end of the game. So like I said, they didn't do nothing until the 7th, 8th, and 9th once the Brewers bullpen. And the Brewers bullpen were down a couple arms. Like Shelby Miller and stuff. So, they tried to get something going, but this team lacks the big hit. And it's just, if it's not happening from a couple guys like, Reynolds or Horwitz or Pham lately, it just doesn't happen. And it was brutal.
Well, I mean, you talk about the 7th, 8th, 9th. Let's kind of dive into that. So like the 7th, Eric Fetty comes in. So you've gotten on the other side of Brandon Woodruff. Eric Fetty comes in. Bryan Reynolds leads off with that double. So, like, you've got a leadoff double. And at this point, it's a 2-0 game. Like, this game had been just nothing all the way up to this point. And you got a leadoff double now in a 2-run ball game. And you've got guys coming up who, I mean, you don't really feel great about anybody in this lineup. But I guess if there is,
but Pham's been hitting. Pham came up in that 7th.
If you do feel good about anybody, it's probably Tommy Pham. And,
right.
But Pham flies out. He puts good wood on the ball, just flies out to right. Nick Gonzalez grounds out. So, next thing you know, there's 2 outs now. Bryan Reynolds hasn't advanced. Then the Brewers bring in our old buddy, Rob Zastryzny, right? He comes in to face O'Neill Cruz, the lefty matchup. O'Neill Cruz had a great at bat. Saw 6 pitches, worked the count full, laid off some close balls that were just kind of below the zone. So like he draws the walk, and then it's up to Nick Yorke at this point. So like Nick Yorke just called up on September 1st, had the big hit earlier in the week that busted that game open against the Dodgers. 1st and 2nd now, 2 outs, and he fouls out to 3rd, just pops it straight up. That was kind of like if the Pirates were going to do anything, I felt like that was going to be their chance. And
that was the game.
That was kind of the momentum shifter where like you got a little bit of momentum there. And then when Yorke fouled out, Milwaukee then came in and scored 2 more runs there in the 8th to expand their lead to 4-0. And at that point, it was like, we're not scoring 4 runs in 2 innings.
No, it was over. The 7th was the game to that point, and it pretty much was. Because like you said, it was still 2-0. They had a shot. You just needed that big hit. If I had my lock was the Brewers, I'm telling you, man, Pham and Yorke would have parked those balls into the gap or something.
That's what would have happened.
That's exactly what happens when I fade the Pirates. So all of a sudden, everybody starts hitting. So
we can
my
blame
apologies
you.
for that. Well,
Yeah,
I went with the Pirates and it worked, but I should tomorrow I would just take the Brewers and we'll just fade, we'll fade that. But
okay.
there's just nothing. I mean, I don't know if we've clamored for, but people have clamored for Yorke for a couple months now. Like, hey, we picked him up last year. Like he's there. Like, why is he wasting away in AAA? Like, see what this guy has. The season's over. Well, he's here now, and he has a 417 OPS in small time. But yeah, he had two big chances tonight to do something. And I mean, that last pitch he struck out with on the ninth inning was brutal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a brutal game for Nick Yorke. He struck out 3 times, 0 for 4. Like I said, in the 8th, the Brewers expand their lead, go to 4-0, and that's Evan Sisk came in to face the lefty Sal Frelick. Frelick singles, and then you got to face 3 batters. So now you're facing Churio, who homers, and there you go, 4-0. And yeah, at that point, not a lot going on there. The Pirates did get some base runners in the 8th, like Henry Davis walked, Jared Triolo singled, so you had first and second again with 1 out. But then Alexander Canario comes in and grounds on the double play, so innings over. And then in the 9th, the Pirates do score a run with Reynolds, Gonzalez, kind of going back to back there with a walk and a double. But yeah, it was a snooze fest, Ryan. I don't know if you know if go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, everything kind of tonight worked for the Brewers. Like they bring in Aaron Ashby in that 8th inning to pitch to the Pirates pinch hit Canario, and he ground 1 out, 2 on, he grounds right into the double play. So it's just everything the Brewers kind of move they made tonight worked with the bullpen and stuff. And yeah, like I said, it was 4-0. They still had some chances, but I just can't get that big hit. Meanwhile, the Brewers add on with the 2-run home run, and that's the ball game.
Yeah, I think I already know this answer, Ryan, but IShowSpeed throughout the first pitch today. He also took some batting practice with the team prior to the game. Do you know who IShowSpeed is, Ryan?
So we had some fun in the group chat earlier today, and you guys were already making fun of me, and I was going to say, is this a bad time to mention I don't know who IShowSpeed is? I've obviously figured it out. Very, very, what is he, like the biggest gaming streamer?
Yeah, he's like one of the bigger, I think like biggest streamers around. So
that was pretty cool before. So how did that, is there any ties to Pittsburgh? Like, how did that come about?
No, I think he's doing some tour where he's just this is what I mean. This is like the Pirates playing games like this is what is leading to the youth of America, Ryan. They just watch this guy live stream his life. He just live streams his life like all day long, and millions of people are going to watch him take batting practice at the Pirates facility and kind of run around Pittsburgh because they're not going to watch the Pirates. Why would you're a kid, you can watch either this guy just run around on YouTube all day long, or you can watch this whatever this was tonight. You're watching IShowSpeed. That's what you're doing.
Do you think he lost followers coming to a Pirate game?
No,
like,
I'm gonna say no.
Why are we watching the Pirates?
Yeah, he may have lost some views. Like they saw that he was at the Pirates game, and they were like, "Oh, my God, let me hop off here. I'll catch him whenever he's at the bar or something after the game."
Right.
Which I don't know if he's even old enough to drink. That's how. But yeah.
I saw his age, and I was like, "Wow, he did." He's apparently pretty well in a short time.
Yeah, he's apparently doing this tour around the country where he's just live streaming his entire life type deal. So
we've been telling Donardo for years to just live stream your life.
I wouldn't watch that. There's no no way would I watch that.
I wouldn't either. So, but I also don't watch this guy. So, but yeah,
apparently
maybe obviously. I will now that I know him.
Yeah.
He might have gained a follower in me because now he went to the Pirate game. So, but yeah, he was hanging out with Kutch in the batting cages and stuff beforehand, and it's pretty cool.
Yep. Martin says that he should live stream when he finally gets his replica Bucko brick that was promised weeks ago.
That hasn't shown up yet? Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, Martin. We're not.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, live stream that, though, when it does finally show up.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I mean...
We talk about Nicolas?
We can talk about it. We can talk about Kyle Nicolas. He did throw one scoreless inning. He's looked really good lately, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, he had, I think, like 3 or 4 really good outings, and then he had he was away for the bereavement leave, came back and kind of just picked up. He's pitched the last 2 nights now, kind of picked up right where he left off. He's been looking really good, and we've talked about, if Nicolas can dial in that control a little bit and kind of knows where it's going, he could be pretty electric out of that bullpen. And he's, what is that now? Is it now like six outings in a row where he hasn't allowed a run?
7 outings in a row where he hasn't allowed any runs. And that
good
covers,
that's pretty
covers
good
10,
for him.
Covers 10 innings too. 10 scoreless innings. And I think the biggest key here, Ryan, because the issue with Kyle Nicolas is always not having any idea where the ball's going.
Right.
In those 10 scoreless innings that he's pitched, 2 walks.
It's huge. It shows you just if he can dial that control in even a little bit, like he can just how effective of a pitcher he can actually be.
Yeah.
And that's going into next year. Santana, Matson, Nicolas could be a guy that's definitely in the bullpen and a guy you rely on. So he looked good tonight, which was good to see. Even come back from leave, he's pitched the last 2 nights. Matson was warming up. I thought, with him and Santana, they were both available tonight. I thought they would go to them. Kind of when they brought Siskin, he gives up 2 runs, and then it was like, okay, we'll just keep Siskin. So, they have tomorrow's afternoon game and then an off day. So I guess you save Santana and Matson for a game if you're actually leading, but we'll see tomorrow. Yeah. We don't even know. Have they announced the starter yet tomorrow? We're pretty sure it's Bubba Chandler, but
Ryan, they have announced it. I was going to say, do we want to even talk about tomorrow a little bit here? Because this game,
let's do it if we
I'm done talking about this game. So
this game
let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, as of about 12 minutes ago, Don Kelly has announced that Bubba Chandler will start for the Pirates tomorrow, and that is going to be his first major league start. And it's if you like elite pitching prospects, Ryan, according to Baseball America, you're going to have the number 4 overall prospect, Jacob Misiorowski, going for the Brewers.
Yeah.
Against the number 15 overall prospect, Bubba Chandler. So yes, Bubba Chandler, he's had a hell of a start to his career. 2 wins and a save in his first 3 appearances. And I think he's the first person to do that in about 30 years or so. But he's going to get his first career start tomorrow at home against the Brewers.
It's exciting. There will be NFL football on, but at least the Pirates should be semi-interesting. So, you can flip over to them still with Bubba's start. But I like the move with, they brought him up. They put him in the bullpen, let him kind of get his feet wet, and he looked really good. And now, this will be his 4th appearance and his first start. He threw 65 pitches in his last outing. So, he's kind of ramping up there, and I'm excited to see what he does against the Brewers here at home. And hey, I'll check Fanduel tomorrow to see what props there are for Bubba Chandler. And maybe that'll be one of my plays, or maybe I'll just take the Brewers.
I feel like you got to do a Bubba. Maybe take the Brewers so you can set up Bubba for a dominant start. Just fade Ryan on Fanduel for sure.
Yeah, when I take the Pirates, just fade them. Just fade me because I lose. They look like the 27 Yankees, that offense, when I take them. So
yeah, Brian brings up a good point here though. Like Bubba's first start at the exact same time as the Steelers regular season opener. Like no one's going to be watching this game,
right?
no one was watching this game, and it was just because there was college football on. Like
it's classic Pirates.
Like in the Discord, the game chat in the Discord is usually like hopping. Twitter is usually hopping during a game. And like I could tell like through like the 3rd inning today, I was like
dead.
I was like, there's nobody talking about this game anywhere. Like, and there was no one at the game either. Like this was a bobblehead night. It was a Bryan Reynolds bobblehead night. Let me check what the final attendance was today.
Well, the one guy, did you see the broadcast? He had like 10 of them stacked up.
Yeah.
So like somebody got like their hands on 10 or 12 of them, but they had them all, the bobbleheads all stacked up.
Ryan, the attendance was 17,975 for a Saturday night bobblehead game.
That's bad for a Saturday, especially like you said, the bobbleheads, because people love their bobbleheads. We heard all about
bobbleheads.
We heard all about the the lines that were outside PNC earlier this year for Skeens and the other ones
today.
And yeah, this you could have showed up whenever and probably got a bobblehead. So yeah, hey, that's where we're at. I mean, it's September, like you said, football season has started, high school football last night, but it's just the Pirates season is over and we're crawling to the finish. But yeah, it kind of sucks that hey, at least the Steelers aren't home, I guess, tomorrow and Bubba's starting. They're on the road, but yeah, it's just kind of like the games are going to. But hey, it's something you can flip over to and kind of keep an eye on. So because yeah, now, at least now like. Because if Bubba wasn't starting, I probably wasn't tuning into the Pirates at all. But at least now maybe I'll have it on my phone or something. But
yeah, gives you a reason to sort of watch a little bit.
Right.
Yep. Well, Pirates lose 4-1. Season series against the Brewers. They are 3-9. They have one more game against the Brewers, so that's tomorrow. And Bubba Chandler will be making his first major league start to hopefully pick up win number 4 against the Brewers on the season. So
yeah, and the second to last homestand of the season when they go to Baltimore.
It's crazy how we're almost done.
I know. Yeah, I think we got 19 games left now. I think that's where we're at because I think we were at 20.
Sounds about right.
His Jim does the math in his head. Sure.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sure. Yeah. That sounds right. It's 19. Let's just go with that.
There you go.
We'll go with that.
I like it.
You got anything else to add?
I got nothing else here. It was a snooze fest. I mean, just the Pirates. We've seen this show before. It's the offense when they're just not. And usually they do this against like any pitcher, but Brandon Woodruff is a good pitcher, and he's done it against them many a times. And he just continued right where he usually is against the Pirates. And I think now he's what I say. Yeah, he's 4-0 in PNC Park history in his career. So that's good.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the page. And like I said, there's a new feature on YouTube if you sometime I think you had to update your app or something, but if you have the hype button on your little scroll bar where the like, share, all that stuff is, hit that hype button. Hype up this video. I don't know what
we don't know what it does, but hit it. You only get a limited of them for what? The week?
Yeah.
The month? What do you
hype?
Is it day?
Hype it up. Hype it up.
Is it how many do you get a day? Is it
I think you get 3 hypes per week is what I read.
Per week. Yeah. So they're so hype it. Yeah. We need some hypes.
Yeah, we could use some hypes around. Could use some hypes around
We could use some hypes.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Have fun watching the Steelers tomorrow or the Pirates. Hopefully you're watching us on the post-game show. We'll have that following the game. And then 3 more weeks left of baseball.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a season, man. We brought up the Bucko bricks. It's been a long season of random stuff, but it's kind of crazy that we're already in September here. So,
all right, guys, we'll catch you later.
Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.